Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Chime. I'm Brett. Today we have Aurora. So we have a lot of Auroras, it seems, these days, but today we have Aurora Courtney up here in my neck of the woods, Alaska. Actually, both Auroras are in my neck of the woods, so that'd be weird to say without saying that.
It's a great place
Aurora,
to be.
It's a great place to be. Usually Aurora and I are actually sitting literally right like a wall apart from each other, but I am not there today. So anyways, Aurora, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm wonderful. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Exhausted. It's been a long week.
I know. I've been following you on Facebook, and
I'm very glad to be back in the States. It's been almost 30 hours of flight time in like 3.5 days. I am dead, but I'm here. We're talking transaction management today. So I want you to I'm going to let you kind of take the reins a little bit. You're really good at that. With like reindeer and stuff up here. So I'm going to let you kind of take the reins on this stuff. And because you do more with the Chime transaction management system than pretty much anybody I've seen. So yeah, I know, right? So anyways, okay, so why don't you do a little brief introduction? Those of you that don't know Aurora already, she's been on a few of these, but I'm gonna have her do a little brief intro, and then we're gonna talk about how you're using transaction management. Ready and go.
Okay, so I'm Aurora Courtney, and I have a company called Tag Real Estate here. We're in Anchorage, Alaska, and I am with Keller Williams, and I've been using Chime for a few years now, and I absolutely love Chime. So I'm happy to be on any of these because I think it's changed my business and also my life, because with the transaction coordination and paying attention to what you're doing, how you're doing it, you can be both more productive, and with all the money you make, if you're keeping good track of things, you get to keep more of it. So, which is, first you make it and then you keep it. So anyway, so I'm here in Anchorage, Alaska, just doing my thing, helping people.
Okay, so let's dive in because we're here. We have limited time. We're here to talk about transaction management. How do you use Chime with your transaction management? Let's start with that.
Okay. Well, first of all, I have to put the person into the Chime CRM, which sounds like the easiest task at hand, but it really isn't. Sometimes you lose track of people that are potential leads by just not putting them into your system. So the very first thing is absolutely put everybody in. Start with your Christmas card list, then put all your vendors in, because if you treat your vendors like friends, they treat you like a friend and they do better business with you. You can get help out of them. You can have them on webinars like this or have them help you with your business. So that's the first thing. Second, I keep track of the transactions by putting them in every time that we have a pending transaction, or as we close, I keep track of my business goals through that transaction coordination. And then I can keep track and just say, where am I at right now? I'm slightly behind my business goal. And it was green. I was feeling really good. And now all of a sudden, because we've gotten through by time, it's saying, okay, you better jump on it. So I know that I'm going to have to jump on and call people back.
Right.
So yeah.
Do your green beans or whatever it is.
Yeah. We have cans of green beans around the office to remind me to eat my green beans so I can go home and have ice cream. So anyway, so I use Chime by first put the people in, then assign the transactions to the people. If it's a listing through your MLS and your MLS numbers in it, it should say you have unclaimed leads, which I've left some in my CRM if you want to see them so that we can look at it. But basically, it should help you if you have your Chime set up correctly. If you don't, I'm sure someone will help you. It should tell you when your listings are pending and it wants you to put them in the system. And then you put it in with your escrow officers, your lenders, whoever you've got, and you can actually shoot them your contact information for both you and your buyer or seller directly through the system, which is awesome.
Can you show us how you streamline like all of that and manage your transactions?
Yes, I can. So I'll go from start to finish.
Let's go start to finish. Can you do that?
I'm happy to do that. Yep. So I've left one that is let me see if I can share my screen here. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start here with my Chime here. Share, and forgive me for showing, but here's your dashboard. And then you go to this money sign because that's where the transactions are at. And what you can see here, hopefully this is not too blurry, but you can see 2 unclaimed MLS transactions here. So I'm going to click here, and I left these on purpose. So this one right here is a beautiful home that was shot by our lovely in-house media group. And so this one right here, we actually own it. So I'm going to claim this transaction. Hold on, sorry, it's showing my Zoom stuff on top. So here we go. Okay, so claim. And then I'm going to put it in here under my lovely husband you have to actually be in Chime as an associated lead for this to work. So if you were doing a good job at the beginning and you have your leads in Chime, this should be no problem. Yeah, so my husband's in my Chime. So anyway, it automatically, because I'm the transaction owner for anything that Matt does, then he's going to show up as my transaction owner here, but I could switch it to somebody else, but you need to do it from your lead. So anyway, I'm just going to kind of briefly show this, but if we've got a close price here, this is the asking.
Hold up for a second. So what you just said was that Matt is one of your leads, basically. In the Chime CRM, he's tagged as one of your leads.
Yes, he is.
If you wanted to do a transaction, let's say I was in your CRM and I was an agent for you. If Matt was one of my leads, we couldn't do that.
I think I can because I'm an admin, but I'm clicking here, just transaction owner, and it's only giving me as an option. And I do have other agents that are in here. So I don't know. I don't think you can from here. I think you can from Matt.
I don't think you can either. I think from Matt's like profile, you would have to change Matt to like Zach, for example. Yes. And then Zach would be the transaction owner. I
think so. Yeah. Cause I'm in the admin side right now and I'm not able to do it. So I think that you have to have your lead set up correctly. Then you can associate your MLS listings to it. So there we go. So I am the transaction owner of my husband. And I'm putting in the close price here. This is the current list price, but we're pending. So we're going to leave it at that. And then commission rate. And then your GCI populates here. But if you're on a team, sometimes your splits might be, something else. So it'll automatically split your total GCI, subtract your team revenue, and then give you an agent revenue. And that helps you with your stats and also on the admin side, seeing what people are doing. So if you put in your close dates and everything, these become on your calendar, they become the tasks when you look at your calendar view in Chime, which is really cool. And I'm just going to leave those blank because that's not what we're here to talk about. But transaction coordinator, I did want to point out too, if you put in your people, you see I have this great realtor here. Just kidding, that's me. I mean, I'm a great realtor, but I put it in as a transaction coordinator. If you put that in, if you put that in there, it's going, and I have more than one transaction coordinator here. I mean, you maybe for different things, you'll do different people, but it'll automatically send that transaction coordinator the information for your contact, which is really helpful. It saves me a step. It helps them out and they know a transaction's coming, because I may not get this information to them until, hours later, but if I can get it to them right away, it's even better for everybody. So anyway, so you can pick your people here. I've got, home improvement escrow. I've got an escrow officer here. She isn't one right now, but that's one of the biggest benefits here is just keeping organized.
I was gonna say what I like about it is it includes everybody into it basically brings everybody into one place to communicate, which I really like.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, and over here, I've still got one unclaimed listing, and that's because I was leaving this for you guys, so we've got that one. Now I'm here in this transaction tab and I've got purchases, listings, leases, or other, and I don't do leases on here. I'm clicking listing.
Or others.
I don't know. What are others?
I don't know. I've always wanted to know the same thing. Like, what's other?
Nothing. I got nothing. If
commercial?
No others. So anyway, so I've got the listings here. So I'm going to pick up Shoshani. So here we go. SHO. Oh, where is it? Oh no.
Of course, it's not gonna. There it is. Oh,
there. Okay, I got scared for a minute there. Okay, so it says right here that we're in. Of course. Okay, so here we are, and this is what's going to happen when you're at the very beginning. It kind of looks blank, like nothing's happening. So I'm going to really quickly, as an admin, I'm trying to watch my time here. I'm going to go, and only admins can do this. So you have to be an admin, but you go to the cog here and you go down to the checklist template, and you can create a checklist template. And I have just some examples here for you. So there's purchase, listing, lease, and other. And I put together this listing template here, and I'm going to use it. But first you go add checklist, and this feels daunting when you look at it. At first I was scared, but if you just said like test listing, and then what do you do when you pre-list? Okay, well, first of all, let's be honest. We follow up, right? And call them back. Yes. Okay. So anyway, so that's one. And then you just keep adding tasks, set appointment and, appointment. There we go. But you keep going down. You can add them all the way through. At the bottom, you press save, and then boom, you've got your new template. It's that easy. So last time I was on here, I shared a whole list that is still available on Chime. So you guys can use that if you want as a starting point. Everyone's different, so make sure it works for you. But anyway, I'm going to use this residential one for our friend Matt, who's probably watching. Okay.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to go back and we're going to apply the checklist template, and it has to be the correct one. So here's the one we just created with only 2 right here. Oops, hold on. I got to move you guys. Sorry, there we go. But we don't want to use that one. We want to use the one that I have that's longer. So here we go, the residential listing. So this is actually, the one with lots of stuff here. Oops, gosh, I don't know what just happened. Sorry. There we go. I think I went back by mistake, but that's okay. All right, add the checklist template. We're going to confirm. And here we are. We're in pre-listing. We have send seller a welcome seller form, which is in the CRM as an email template. We can order the property profile from the title company. We can drop off the marketing book. And once you check these off, then, oops, hang on one second. If you go on this side, you can say show completed tasks, which I like to do. It makes me feel accomplished. So you can go through and you can see who's doing this too. It keeps a history of who's doing what, which is nice, because if you have somebody else that says something's done and you're like, oh wait, they said they didn't get it, what happened? You can go back and look. Then after you're like, okay, let's activate this listing, then it'll start adding, here, hold on a second. There we go. You can start adding additional checklists. So it'll come now to the active listing checklist, and you can still see your pre-listing ones just in case you're still waiting on something. So in a nutshell, here we are. This is what it looks like. Do you have any questions? Because I do have one more thing I want to show.
We had one question that
Sure.
I answered over here, but it was basically, are there a way to create auto plans like other places like Brivity or RealVolve or anything like that?
So there are.
And I was going to say, the big updates are coming soon, but show what the partial automation.
So what I do it a little bit differently, but in here there's dot loop, sky slope, and I think brokerment that you can have as integrations for your transaction coordination. And I don't use any of those. I can't really speak to those, but there's other ones too. People are using, for instance, maybe Trello or some of the other ones like it, or just, print them out like I do and check it. So yeah, there's lots of options. So that's one of them.
Okay, yeah, keep going. I'm going to answer Pat's question here real fast. If you use a virtual assistant, do the documents also go to her, like the listing docs and what have you? They get assigned into a transaction when you do that. So can you pull up the docs? Yeah, so like all the docs will go
here?
into there you go. Yeah.
So
they all go into there. And if you upload one, they will go into there and they will all be assigned into the transaction.
How about my AT&T bill?
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, so there. So yeah, now you have you've got it here in this transaction. Also, when you go to this associated leads profile, you should see these documents here too, which is super helpful if you're like, okay, because a lot of times you'll end up with clients who use you multiple times. Oh, it didn't show up. That's interesting. It should show up here.
You have to select I think you have to select the transaction as well.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. It's taking me back here. I don't typically do that, but I know
I think it's because you have 2 transactions with Matt, which means Matt's a very good client. You should treat Matt really well.
One of those was fake. I was practicing. It was this building that I'm sitting in now.
Oh.
So anyway, okay. So yeah, so you can save the documents, which is helpful because then you can find whatever's associated with it. Also, when you're making your checklist, some of these, when you're putting them together, you can say that a document has to be uploaded to finish this task. So you can make that be a requirement if you have more than one person working, or you're like, I don't want to lose the lead-based paint disclosure, for instance, or something. You want to make sure that it's in there so you don't get fined. So
good things to have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is your next step?
My next magic trick. Actually, so this one's super exciting. I actually haven't used it yet. It's really new, but if you're in the listing side here, so we're here at this one, and let's say we are in active listing. Right now we're pending, but let's say we're active. You can go to offers and you can create an offer link. And this offer link is pretty cool. So create offer link here. And what we're doing is we're giving instructions to the buyer's agent. So for instance, let's say we want to be like, please review as built and COSA, which is certified on-site approval for a septic system, to be updated, whatever. Let's say there's just something you want them to know, or let's say that you want them to provide the pre-qualification letter, whatever your instructions are here, you put them here. So I'm going to preview this really quick. There we go. The offer price. If somebody wants to submit an offer, they put in all this information, then we create it. You can't edit this currently. We're going to copy this to a clipboard, and then I'm going to open a new browser here. Can you still see me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so here's what it looks like. So you can put this in your MLS in the confidential remarks or wherever you guys are allowed to do it. And this link will pop up. Buyer's licensee would then go through and they can say offer price, and let's just make something up. Earnest money, they're going to give you 1%. They have, whatever, a lender, let's say residential mortgage or somebody.
While you type all this in, this is hands down my newest favorite feature of Chime. And the reason is, how many of us get so many freaking offers on properties and we're like, what do we do with all these? How do we keep track of all these? So Chime is actually making it wicked easy for everything. And yeah, I mean, the buyer's agent has to type in this information. Okay.
That's great. You get a complete offer.
You get a complete offer out of it.
Just kidding.
Which I know all of us are sitting there going, we've all gotten those offers before that we're like, dude, seriously? Have you ever filled out an offer before? But this helps keep everything streamlined and into one place. And if they fill this out, they can't come back later and go, you never received my offer. Because if they actually get this, they will get, thank you. The offer has been submitted. And it's right super easy. So it's a little bit, it's one more step for a buyer's agent to complete, but it completes a perfect offer, which makes it really easy for you in the future. And by the way, it takes all of that information. If you actually show on the other side of what that does when someone fills that out, like I said,
so
coolest favorite feature right now.
Yeah. So this is what it looks like. So because I'm the agent and I'm also the buyer's agent on like what I just submitted. This What?
No, we can't. You're grayed out. So I think you clicked off something.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Now can you see my email?
No.
What?
Now I can check that out. It's probably Aurora. It's probably my computer.
Well,
so it's still getting over the Canadianisms that it was just, subjected to. Sorry, Canada.
I love Canada. Stop it. Okay. There are neighbors to the east.
They are.
Okay.
So you did an email confirmation on this.
Yeah. So me as Aurora, the buyer's agent, received this email that says, hey, guess what? We've received it for sure. Now, I just want to point out too, and this is a little harder to see, but I got this text from Chime and it says, new offer alert, 4900 Shoshone Avenue received a new offer. So I got it in my email, the buyer's agent got confirmation, and I got a text message. I probably got a push notification too, but I wasn't paying attention. I was focused on you guys. So here we go. So buyer's agent says, okay, great. I got this thing submitted. It's confirmed. Now, me as the listing agent, I got this. It says, hey, you got a new offer that's been submitted, which is fantastic. I'm going to view the details. Okay, can you see that? I think I got.
No, you have to re-click. You have to reshare and click on the new one.
That's okay. All right, now how are we doing?
So, hey, there it is.
Okay, perfect. So let's see here. We got an offer received right here. The offer price is 500, and if you keep adding, if more offers come in, you'll start getting them here all in a row, and you can keep track of it. So I want to view more about this offer, and then here we can see my AT&T bill again, which would be the offer if it wasn't my AT&T bill, of course. And I'm gonna say
might be about the same price.
What?
I said it might be about the same price.
It could. I know. It feels like it. Okay, so we've got accept or reject. So if I accept this offer here, are you sure you want to accept it? Yeah, I do. Full price. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my email really quick. All right.
I love how you're switching back and forth. You share your screen more than anybody we've had so far, I think.
Hey, I was jealous of the Chime app guy. I was like, oh, I can
Eric's
do better.
Amazing.
Yeah, he raised the bar. I don't know what. Next time I'm going to have to be even better. So, okay. So this is then you can see my email here. Offer accepted, 4900 Shoshone. Hi, and this is me, the buyer's agent, Aurora, the buyer's agent. Your offer on behalf of your clients has been accepted. I will be in contact. Here's my contact information. So there you go. It streamlines that process because when you reject them too, I haven't read the rejection one. I should have rejected it.
Basically says your offer's been rejected. You suck.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Your offer sucked. It was rejected. 2 thumbs down. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, so that's my new favorite kind of Chime new feature that I found. There's too many.
Well,
I don't even know. But
go back to the Shoshani, like the actual transaction, because it imports all of the information from the. I think it imports all the information from the offer.
From here.
If you go back to like the so like, does it scroll down to like where it has agents and contacts? I'm sorry, contacts.
Contacts.
Yeah, check that.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, look, we got the great realtor right here.
That's your transaction. Keep scrolling down.
Yep.
Let's see if it has the buyer's agent in here. Usually, I thought it usually imported that. It may not.
It did too. Right here, add contact. Yeah, I don't know.
I think honestly, Aurora, I think it's because right now you're using you for both of them. And I don't think that works because of that. If you would use like my email address and me, for example. So that's, I think that would work a little bit better. Pat asked, how are buyer's agents reacting to this way of doing business? Pat, I think right now, a lot
it doesn't
more buyers
matter. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it does. And I think what people are seeing now is it's a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more organized. And I think a lot more people are liking that. From everything that I've seen personally, I know people are liking it a lot more because it gives them feedback that yes, this offer was received. So they don't have to text you like 75 times like, hey, did you get my offer? Hey, did you get my offer? No, seriously, did you get my offer? The other nice thing about it is if you tell someone offers are due by Monday at noon, you can tell when offers were coming in after noon. So it helps streamline everything. I know there's some people that still, people laugh at me. Aurora laughs at me. Shoot, my Aurora laughs at me. I still like presenting in person occasionally, which kind of freaks people out. I know. I knew you were going to make that face the second. So those of you who don't know, Aurora and I are actually friends. And so she makes fun of me frequently and I make fun of her a lot too.
No, I do.
But alas, I like presenting in person. It's a little old school, but it's different. And I think it gives me a little bit of a competitive edge, but I'm going to be honest with you. If I submitted an offer for a buyer and it got into one queue and it was all in one place, I'd be okay with that. So anyways, keep going. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you.
On that same note for Pat, I actually had an offer come in from someone and he didn't say by text, did you receive my offer? It went to my junk and we'd picked one and then he texted and said, hey, it's, been a couple hours. And I was like, I never got his offer. Where is it? And I found it. He wasn't going to win anyway. But, if you don't have, as the buyer's agent, anybody saying I received it, they didn't, assume that they did not. So in person is great, or having email, this clicks back and says, hey, we got it. It texted me, it emailed me, it's in my system. There's no way to miss an offer because that could be thousands of dollars for your client too. And that's your job,
Yeah, exactly.
I would say if I was a buyer's agent, I would think this is great.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you have? So you can move to under contract at that point.
Oh yeah. So as we move by, hold on, I got to move this, my people here over here. Okay. So when I go back to checklists, we can see more here. And then, I've noticed that I have to click this twice. So I think it's something to do with my stuff here, but once you get to under contract, what's the difference between under contract and pending? What is that? I was just curious because we don't have those two here.
Some places do have where you're under contract. Some people treat pending as once you've cleared your contingencies.
Okay.
And so pending closure. A lot of places will do like an iris basically said pending closure. And so basically when you've cleared contingencies, a lot of people will put it over to pending. Personally, it's under contract for me until it freaking closes. But everybody's different. And so if some people's brains work that way where they go, we are cleared contingencies. Okay. Which usually means we're getting paid.
Yeah.
When it closes and we got paid.
Yeah. It records you're done.
Exactly.
Safe. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just closing this transaction. It's not actually closed, but just for fun. It's supposed to give us our close template or a checklist here too, which I was going to make you really proud of me. Look, ask for a Google or Zillow review. Do you see this?
I'm proud of you.
I knew you would be. I knew you would be. So anyway, so your close template, or excuse me, checklist is right here too. So hopefully after you press close and you get paid, you still follow up and you give them the keys, a closing gift, whatever you're doing, pick up your lockbox, pick up your sign, and ask for a review every time. Yeah.
Yep.
But only if it's a 5-star. If it's not, then just move on. Just kidding, it wouldn't be less.
Aubrey pointed out that with the checklist, as soon as you add it, you have to refresh the page.
Yeah, and I can do it by doing this. I guess, yeah, hold on. I suppose I could do that. Refresh like this. Ta-da. Okay. Yeah, and then go back to checklists here. There we go. And then I'm done. That's all I've got.
Okay.
You want me to stop sharing here or anything else on here?
Well, I think the general gist that I see a lot of people talking about when it comes to these type of things, when it comes to the checklist, when it comes to the templates, when it comes to all that, people are overcomplicating this. It's basically, it's a checklist for you to be able to stay in front of your closings. It's a way for you to keep track of everything. And everybody's like, are there templates for this? Everybody's area is different, right? So in Alaska, we have things that are different.
Well, actually, you guys have things that are different. We're doing great.
Like California is different than Alaska, which is different than Oklahoma, which is different than Washington, which is different than Idaho. Everybody's different. Some people have closing attorneys, some people have escrow states. So everybody's transaction checklist should be a little bit different. It should suit you and your business. This works really well for Aurora because Aurora's business is really structured in this way and it works for her brain. So when she looks at something like that, there are probably things, if I went through her checklist, I'd be like, the heck is this? And she'd be like, it's this. It's like, okay, well, if that works for you, man, go for it. But for me, it would be something totally different. Example, under contract and pending. Some people use those differently.
Yeah.
So what I tell people to do when you see checklists, for example, what do you want your workflow to be with your closings? How do you want your buy sides handled? How do you want your listings handled? How do you want, if you are allowed in your area, to represent both parties? How do you want those to be handled? Do you want them to be handled together? Do you want them on separate checklists? So point being, do what works best for your business. And how I tell people to build this out, and I know you're just a machine when it comes out to building systems. So I invert it. I start at the close and I work my way back to the start. And I do that because, okay, we all know where it ends, right? It ends with a closed transaction. What do I want to happen at closing? And then what do I want to happen one step prior to that? And one step prior to that. And one step prior to that. And all the way back to the beginning. And it works great.
That's a good way to do it.
Okay, so let's see, I'm trying to see if there's any questions that anybody has in here. Do you have a transactions smart plan? Do you use smart plans for your transaction in any way?
Not really. No, I don't think so. Because basically, if we have the checklist, it's not really a smart plan.
Right.
You could though, because you could have it go one person to the next if you want it. But I need all control.
Yeah, and that's just it. Is I was one of those that I used to need that where it was all automated, and I know Chime is getting there. Chime will be there very, very soon. As far as you should be able to. I think by the time they're done, from my understanding of it, you're going to be able to hit go and it's going to be like, okay, earnest money is due 2 days after this. And then the next thing will get sent. Hey, now the next step. It's coming. But it's where we're at now with it is it's giving you a guide along the way. And you should be able to click on each one of your transactions and know exactly where they are.
Well, you could put the due dates in too.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't be like the 2 days after, but I mean, the due dates work too. And you'd move them back as people need extensions
and it reminds you when the due dates are due. So it's not like, hey, oh crap, I gotta check this every day. It's literally like, hey, that earnest money better be in today. It's like,
it's on your, there's like a Chime calendar and it puts it on the calendar for you. If you look, you have to look. And also you can set up the integration with your Google Calendar and it'll automatically put it on for you.
Thank you for being on this. I appreciate you. And it was just you and me today, which was, Tristan's out, Mark's out. It's just you and me. So this was fun. I almost dragged Aurora in to help us out. We could have the Auroras, but thank you again for being on this. Thank you guys for joining in on another episode of the Weekly Chime. I think we have some really cool stuff coming up. And hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Aurora, let's go fly. Like seriously, it's over at Merrill. Let's go fly. You guys have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.